P on the Players Union Committee, Nafisia Collier, out here. And once again, she's talking about how much they're ready to strike if they need to. We're 10 toes down. Who talks like this when dealing with actual business? I mean, 10 toes down. That sounds like business jargon to me, right? Word. I mean, let's watch this video. This is from Yahoo Sports. And yeah, if they need to strike, they're going to.
On the CBA, hitting crunch time is
10 toes down. That's the phrase Nafisia Collier just used to describe the WNBA Players Association's strike stance. This isn't about negotiating in good faith or cautiously hoping for a deal. It's a full-on street-level standoff, not a multi-million-dollar business discussion. And that choice of words says everything about why the league feels like it's heading for a cliff. The WNBA is just 67 days away from what should be its most profitable season in 28 years. A new $2.2 billion media rights deal takes effect this year. Attendance records were smashed in 2025, and Caitlin Clark has brought the league unprecedented mainstream attention. Instead of riding this wave, the players are publicly threatening to derail it all.
But I'm just wondering what conversations you've had with maybe that middle tier of player in terms of moving forward, and if there is a deal to be done or if you do need to end up striking.
Well, for the past, I would say, like year and a half, the executive committee has been urging everyone to save their money because we knew the negotiations were coming up. We never know what's going to happen. You know, if there's not a season, we want to make sure everyone's prepared. So hopefully everyone has been doing that. That's something we've been talking about for a really long time. But also that is something that we check in with everyone, you know, because opinions change over time. And that is something that has stayed consistent, that people, no matter, you know, middle tier, the one, like the people at the top, rookies, everyone has been really consistent in that we want a season to happen. But if we don't get the things that we are wanting to stay 10 toes down on, then we're going to sit out for as long as that takes. Like, that's not what anyone wants, but it's what we're willing to do in order to get the...
Pay attention to what Collier just revealed. The executive committee has been advising players to save their money for a year and a half, fully aware that tough negotiations were coming. They've been preparing for a strike since before the 2024 season even began. This isn't just strategy, it's a battle plan. And here's the part that should alarm anyone who cares about the league. Collier says this mindset isn't limited to a few players. Rookies, mid-tier players, stars, everyone is supposedly ready to sit out. But let's be real about what that really means. Top-tier players like Collier, Breanna Stewart, and Aya Wilson have huge salaries and endorsement deals. They can survive missing paychecks. What about the player making $76,000? One injury away from losing her career entirely. How long can she really hold out before the pressure breaks?
Right now.
I think that things are moving. Like, we are not where we want to be, but I think negotiations are trending in the right direction. And that's what you want. You want movement. You don't want to be in a stalemate. You want there to be hope for the future. And I do have that. I think there has to be a lot of movement in some, you know, in a lot of places in the CBA, but the fact that we are moving, I think, is really hopeful.
You are teaming up with...
Okay. So, once again, talking about the need to sit out. Are you kidding me? It's wow. I mean, again, as I talked about before, you go through the comments on these videos, and it is like, just shut the league down. Because I can tell you this, the players have lost nearly all fan support. Nearly all.
There it is, the glimmer of hope. Collier says negotiations are trending in the right direction. So why is the talk still about strikes? Why is the default conversation still sitting out instead of celebrating progress? Because the core issue hasn't changed. The players want a gross revenue share model, a percentage of total revenue before expenses, like the NBA players enjoy. On the surface, it seems fair. The NBA players get roughly 50% of basketball-related income. Why shouldn't WNBA players get the same? Here's the catch. The NBA generates $10 billion annually and has been profitable for decades. The WNBA, in 28 years, it has never made a profit. Not once. The league has been subsidized by the NBA to the tune of $10 million per year since its inception. Asking for a gross revenue share without ever generating net revenue isn't negotiation, it's financial fantasy.
WNBA fandom, sure, they're like, because it's a social movement statement for them too. All right. It's got nothing to do with actual dollars and cents. This has all been made about something else. They don't want to appear weak. You know what's going to be weaker? Not having a job anymore. Somebody did ask me about the idea of replacement players. I don't know how that would work. Okay. I understand that the teams still have the rights to all the rookies, but I think because of the CBA, and I may be wrong, but I think because of the CBA, the rookies would not play and still could not play. They would have to be all replacement players. Now, I'm going to tell you what's funny about that. If they ran replacement players out there during a strike, during their sit out, if they ran replacement players out there, I would be very interested to see what the ratings would be.
Let's break down what actually happened in 2024, because the numbers tell the real story. The league doesn't release detailed financials, and that silence speaks volumes. If you were profitable, you'd be shouting it from the rooftops. Here's what we do know. Indiana Fever attendance skyrocketed 400% compared to 2023, selling out Gainbridge Fieldhouse multiple times, the first since Caitlin Clark arrived. The league's average attendance jumped from 6,500 to 9,200 per game. ESPN TV ratings tripled. The All-Star Game drew 2 million viewers, the highest since 2003. These are real, significant gains, the kind of growth that should have everyone excited. But here's the catch. The league still didn't turn a profit. Growth profitability. You can triple your revenue and still lose money if your expenses are even higher, and the WNBA's costs are massive. Travel, arena rentals, staff salaries, marketing, all that comes off the top before a single dollar in profit appears.
Because you would have an entire league of potential attitude adjustments. And I think in large part, people don't want to support this league because many of the athletes come across as having a very rotten attitude. And it's like, I don't want to watch these folks. I don't want to support these people. Natasha Cloud, perfect example. Right? Perfect example. They're willing to set out. Like I said the other day, several teams are making money. Several of these teams are making money in this league. All right? But you've got a lot of teams that still aren't filling a 4,500 seat arena. You know, Paige Becker shows up to Dallas. They don't sell out every game. Angel Reese in Chicago. They don't sell out every game. And that's supposed to be two of the biggest stars in the whole shebang.
This is the disconnect fueling the entire conflict. The players see sold-out arenas and record TV deals and think, we're finally successful. Pay us accordingly. The owners see the same numbers and think, we're finally close to breaking even after 28 years of losses. Don't blow this. Both perspectives make sense from their own viewpoints, but only one is grounded in financial reality. The owners have the receipts. They know exactly how much came in and how much went out in 2024. If the league had made a profit, those numbers would have been released immediately to strengthen their negotiating position. The fact that it's January 2025 and we still don't have final 2024 financials says it all. Some individual teams are now profitable. The Fever almost certainly made money last year, and the Las Vegas Aces likely did too. But when it comes to revenue-sharing agreements, league-wide profitability is what matters. And league-wide, the math still doesn't add up.
Subscribe button. Make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. Got another comment yesterday. Unsubscribed 3 different times. Had to resubscribe for the 4th time. It's happening all across YouTube. I don't know what's going to happen. I am starting to believe, and she said there are things moving forward, but the problem here is the gross revenue share aspect of this. As long as they will not back off of that, the season is over. It will not happen. It will not happen because that is not fiscally smart for the owners to agree to that. And why agree to something?
The replacement player question is fascinating, and it reveals just how precarious this situation really is. Legally, if the players strike, teams could bring in replacement players to honor TV contracts. The NFL did it in 1987. 3 games with replacement players, while the regulars were on strike. Could it work in the WNBA? Logistically, it'd be a nightmare. The rookie draft is already over, so those players are under contract and can't step in. Teams would need to pull players from overseas leagues, former college athletes, or the Athletes Unlimited League. But here's the real question. Would fans tune in? My guess. More than expected, not because replacements are better, but because a huge chunk of the WNBA's 2024 audience tuned in for basketball, not drama. They wanted to watch Caitlin Clark, competitive games, exciting basketball, not lectures or social media feuds. Here's the frustration. The WNBA finally got its moment. After 28 years of fighting for attention, coverage, and respect, Caitlin Clark became a cultural phenomenon, bringing millions of new fans and making WNBA games must-watch TV. And yet, many players spent 2024 undermining that growth. Uncalled fouls, dismissive comments about her popularity, mocking fans on social media. Natasha Cloud called fans the dark side. Deja Carrington joked about Clark's supporters. Instead of welcoming new fans, certain players signaled only those supporting the right causes were welcome. That's how you kill a business, not grow it. And now, those same players are threatening to strike. They're willing to walk away from the biggest opportunity the league has ever had for a revenue-sharing model that doesn't make financial sense yet. Give it 2 more years of Caitlin Clark-level growth, and maybe the numbers work. But they want it now, even if it destroys the momentum. The owners see it differently. They've subsidized the league for 30 years, absorbing losses to support women's professional basketball. But losses can't continue forever. After finally seeing a path to profitability, they aren't going to agree to a model that guarantees continued losses. This is leverage for the owners too. For decades, they held all the power. Now the league is real value, but that value is fragile. One missed season could erase everything Caitlin Clark built. When Fisa Collier says the players are 10 toes down and ready to strike, the owners are probably thinking, go ahead. If the players walk away, there may not be another opportunity. Attention spans are short. Clark won't stay a rookie phenomenon forever. If the WNBA doesn't exist in 2025, will fans come back in 2026? Will the media rights deal survive? Will sponsors stick around? The players believe owners need them more than they need the owners, but that's only true if the league is profitable. If the league is still losing money, the owners can walk away, shut down unprofitable teams, and cut their losses. Hundreds of millions have already been lost over 28 years. What's a few million more to stop the bleeding? Look at other women's leagues. The WPSL folded. Women's pro softball lasted 4 seasons. The luxury football league barely survived. The WNBA survived because of NBA subsidies, not profits. But subsidies only go so far. The tragedy. If this collapses, everyone loses. Players lose jobs and platforms. Owners lose investment and legacy. Fans lose entertainment and representation. Women's pro basketball loses credibility for another generation. And all because the players couldn't wait 2 more years for growth to prove sustainable, demanding a revenue share before there was revenue to share, and framing a business negotiation like a street fight 10 toes down, instead of, we're optimistic about a deal. Time is almost up. Training camps start in April. No deal by March, and teams can't prepare. Season delays complicate media rights, sponsors, and the league's credibility. The big question, what if 2024 was the WNBA's peak? What if 28 years of growth and 1 historic season all crumbles because neither side compromised? Players think they have leverage because the league has value. Owners think they have leverage because they can walk away. The truth, both need each other, but only if they can agree on what success looks like. Is it sustainable profitability? Or is it max payout now? Risking the league's future? Right now it's a standoff. And in a standoff, everybody loses. So tell me in the comments, are the players justified in demanding a gross revenue share? Or are they about to destroy the best opportunity this league has ever had? Because 67 days from now, we're either watching WNBA basketball or watching it all collapse. And honestly, right now, I don't know which is more likely.